Good morning and welcome to Gold Squadron podcast. We are live with the Wildcard round of the Gen Con X-Wing Top Cut. We have Assault at the Satellite Array. We have William Haigwood versus Nicholas Sperry. And I am here as Ryan Staniszewski, and with me is Chris Allen.
Hello. Good morning. It is early.
It's very early.
If you're in Europe, you may not realize it is like 7:30 in the morning. There are some very sleepy faces here.
Yes. You may start betting in the chat with your fancy GSP Twitch points. And also, if you want to keep check on the bracket, hit exclamation point bracket.
Will's yelling at us to shut up.
Because we are
No,
too
Will,
loud.
you shut up.
Type exclamation point bracket to get the...
I think Will has no hope in this matchup.
Type exclamation point bracket to get the full bracket date or link. Follow that throughout the day to see where all your favorite players are at and how they're doing. So I guess we're going to be a little bit quieter here because, yeah, there's like no one in this convention right now.
It's Gen Con
and
at
if we speak
7
too
a.m.
loud, the people at the table can hear us.
Yeah, and they might take our terrible advice.
Yeah, true. Okay, so Chris, do you want to quickly explain Assault?
Sure. So this is Assault on the Satellite Array. There are 5 points. 2, 3, 4, 5. Found them all. And for every ship that each player has in them, they get 1 control point. Whoever has more control points for every scenario marker, satellite, whatever, each of the 5 dots, controls it, and they get a point during the end phase.
Okay.
Large and medium ships count as 2, so if you have a Decimator and an X-Wing both on 1, the Decimator is the cooler ship and gets just the point to itself, and the X-Wing effectively doesn't count.
True.
And, you know...
Unless the X-Wing has a friend.
Yes, so if you had like 2 Decimators and 4 X-Wings all in the same point, very busy point.
Very.
No one would get the point.
All right, so right now we have maybe a little bit of early aggression between the Decimators going wide, one at the top being... Oh, I need to mark the names for these ships. Chris, can you do me a favor? Can you go find out which Decimator is orange and which Decimator is pink?
I put the markers on, and I've already forgotten. But sure, actually, we can figure it out, because this one must be Morna because of the rear reinforce.
The back reinforce. Very true.
Oh.
Okay, so let's make sure we can follow that. Let's go to our...
What are you looking for?
No. Oh, it's a TTS one.
There you go.
There we go. All right, so Oiken is the pink one. Pink. Close enough. And we have Morna is the orange one. Scoot.
You're much better at this than I am. I had pop quiz time on Thursday. It was not a good look.
I'm guessing our Jingoist wing.
Yeah, so this is Wampa.
That is Wampa. Cool. He did not put a colored marker on him. Isn't Will supposed to be used to this? We'll get to that in a moment. We're assuming, all right, Wedge is the yellow X-Wing, as per moving later. I've lost the mouse. There it is.
Oh, I'm ruining things by trying to clear out colors.
Wedge.
Sorry, a little haphazard start this morning as we have to get out of here earlier than we would like.
Yes.
So we basically got everyone here and hit go.
Nope,
a little closer than we would have liked.
Just yellow. Chris, while I get all these colors in order, you want to just generally talk about the list between these two players?
Sure. So let's start on the Empire side because you know, I think 2 decimators is a little bit less normal.
Yes.
So we have whatever your favorite term for 2 Jingoists and Wampa is. No, nothing too surprising there.
I love saying jingle, jingle, wampa.
I believe you. You know, just like the standard 6-point Empire, it's really hard for this to be bad stuff, but the remainder of the 14 points is 2 decimators, which in the world of people throwing bombs everywhere and trying to alpha strike things, having a lot of health and no agility, because whatever, you're going to take the auto damage anyways, pretty good trick. So Morna is just running around with Ruthless, Vader, 000, and BT1. Which is just a lot of passive dice modification. Vader, Gunner, kind of, I was going to say underrated, but...
Keep going, I'll be right back. I'm just going to see if I can get Will to actually mark his TIE fighters.
Confusing hand motions at me, like he's eating. But no, I mean, if anyone remembers back to the 2nd edition launch, Darth Vader crew, extremely annoying. You know, you know what? Good call, Twitch chat. Let us yell at Nick. I'm really enjoying listening to them. Sorry. And then Oiken, who is the decimator that when they run into things can still take range 0 shots. Hey, he fixed it. There we are. When he was at range 0, can still take shots like it's range 1. So Death Troopers makes a lot of sense there. Death Troopers. Oh, you know what? I know how to pull up the card. You ready for it? We're learning, Twitch chat. So here is Death Troopers. There you go. So if you are slammed into a decimator at range 0 of it, and it tries to clear basically any maneuver over you, it's still going to be range 1, as it turns out. So you're not going to be able to clear
whatever. Would a 5
stress.
straight blue do it, I think? That's the only one.
Depends at the angle you're at.
Yeah. Because you have to be facing, I think, flat. If it's cantered, that's where it's going to be difficult.
Right, because a large ship base is 2 templates long, and range 1 is 2.5, so... If your angle picks up more than half a ship base, which happens very quickly, then you're not going to be clearing stress anytime soon.
All right, so we have confirmed this is actually our Overtune Modulators Jingoist.
So he told me to have that be Wampa when I was setting ships up, and then changed it?
Yes.
This is...
Travesty.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Well, let me get this Death Troopers off the screen. Sorry.
Sure.
There you go.
Okay. So, and then Wampa's actually no color. This is Wampa down here.
Okay, with the flying sideways, upside down.
Yes.
Into the ground, whatever you want to call it.
Very big Wampin. And then our Cloaking Jingoist is up top here.
Okay. Interesting. And we're now on turn 2, so let me grab that while I'm at it too.
Yes.
Boom. So we can start scoring these markers now. And we did see the Morna key reinforce flip, so... Every turn, Morna can keep a reinforced token, well, for 3 turns. Morna can keep a reinforced token, but has to flip it, so from back to front. So that's why we saw Will take the rear reinforced turn 1, and then just flip it over for turn 2, and now if he reinforces the front again, got 2 reinforced tokens.
Do you feel you would... So what are the types of attacks or incoming volume of fire would you value to reinforce? Because you take that as an action for one of them at least. Versus, say, actually using your action offensively with a focus or a target lock.
Sure. So it's an easy choice with Morna because you have 000 and Vader. So, and presumably people are not willing to stress themselves near you because you also have Death Troopers in this list. So you probably just have a free calculate whenever you want it.
Yes. Granted, as we're seeing with this right now, the Death Troopers are...
They're very far away.
Very far away.
But... all of these rebel ships are higher initiative than both of these decimators. So they're both going to move before you get a chance to try and clear stress.
Yep.
So it's very scary.
Yeah. If there's a chance that Oiken can hop into you.
Yep.
In the range 1 bubble.
Run into you. You're not going to be able to clear stress. He's going to shoot you at range 1. You're probably going to get. It's not going to be pleasant.
Nope.
It'll be very unpleasant.
Not at all. So Nick Sperry will have to be very careful with his usage of K2SO crew.
Yes. Yeah, Ryan is yelling. I am far too tired to be yelling. Can Will hear me? I bet he can't, because I'm mumbling. See?
We're used to having a lot higher volume.
Yeah, this con
is normally much louder.
Eerily quiet at Gen Con as it is 7:37, and there's no one here. There was also no one here at 2 a.m., by the way. It was also eerily quiet.
So, were you able to completely go through both lists?
I got through Empire.
Okay.
We'll start with Empire because it's probably less familiar than what we're looking at on the Rebel side.
Yes. I mean, I think we've seen a lot of what these Lukes and Wedges have generally been.
Yeah, I think the Han Solo is the interesting thing.
Yes.
So
I was going to say, let's bring up the Han Solo.
There you go. So speaking of K2SO, here they are in all their glory.
Yep.
Rarely remembered K2SO jam action on it.
I6 jam, pretty good.
Pretty good trick.
Yeah, especially when you. A lot of people do forget the jam can work in the bullseye range too.
Yes. But yeah, so that's why Ryan was saying earlier, like, yeah, you got to be careful using K2SO because as soon as you get stressed, if Death Troopers roll up, it's going to be very sad.
Yes.
You will be very sad.
You'll be very sad. I mean, you kind of have your force for that turn, but it feels bad to not have an action to get your target lock that you probably want as an X-Wing.
And you probably don't have an action next turn either.
Yes.
Okay. And then the rest of this, Baze and Bistan.
Baze is another one that is enabling Bistan a bit that you also want to be really careful with the Death Troopers. Han's not going
I want to clear this out so we can see that really quick.
Yep.
There we go. And Oiken already gets it. Oh, yeah, they're sliding them together. Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not. He's about to drop it. It's getting close. No bump.
Really?
Look at that. Well, Han can't really do anything about that. It's not like small bases where you can just boost over them.
Yeah, we're just, this is my life now.
So, these are just two large ships that just decided to point.
Yes, but one of them is Oiken.
Yes. Now, if you're Oiken next turn, though, what moves can you even do to get past that Han?
Do you want to?
It's a good question. I mean, if you expect... Han does have a 3-turn, correct?
So here's this.
Oh.
And here's this. So now, if we're gonna be quiet, Ryan. Okay, we're gonna use our inside voices.
I've been using my inside voice for quite a bit.
Okay.
But to remind people,
if Oiken just keeps running into Han can't clear stress next turn.
Yep.
It's very sad. All right, I'm clearing the screen out.
So this Wedge is gonna. I'm gonna assume Will's gonna check Death Troopers to make sure that Wedge can clear that stress.
Yes, which is presumably what that just was.
Yes. Don't worry about it. So the question is,
Will cheating on stream. Get him the cheat on GSP stream trophy.
oh. Nick Sperry's just realizing what's happening and why Will checked for the range 1. And Sperry was wondering, why are you checking range 1? He says, for Death Troopers on Wedge. And now he's realizing what's going to happen to Han.
Right.
To be honest, that was really weird of Will to just grab his template and not declare what he was even checking for.
Fun fact, you don't have to. And what may have been the weirdest rules update of all time.
Really?
You don't have to say what abilities you're using.
When did that happen?
It was to do with the whole are abilities optional or not type deal. So there was a line added, no, you don't have to declare abilities to use them.
I guess
which allows them to be missed opportunities.
The weird part is, if you're Nick Sperry, you decide to use Baze for the double focus, I guess for potentially defense and offense, but you might not even have the other TIE fighter in arc to shoot with Bistan. Right. So if he knew that Death Troopers was a thing, that you don't Bistan or you don't Baze, because there's little reason to shoot the second time that'll matter.
Right.
You really want to move past Oiken with a 3-turn next turn, still get all the mods you want. Now, we'll talk about how that's going to interact next turn. Shooting-wise right now.
Yes, so we're seeing the Proton Torpedo into Oiken, which ironically this Proton Torpedo might do less crits than...
Did Han already shoot that?
Yes, he took 3 shields off.
Nice. Okay. So we'll see if we get some major crits into Oiken. That's a pretty big deal. Yep. And marksmanship on Wedge? No, that's the regular Protor. So shield, we'll see what kind of crits we get.
Will noting that he's using the Rebel damage deck because he's dirty. I'm not sure if there's more context there.
He did almost bring Rebels.
All right. Oh, we have the damage deck cut happening. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
Fuel leak is the answer.
Fuel leak is the crit. That's going to be pretty bad on a decimator. It's not hull breach, though.
Yeah, like there are like 8 or 9 crits that if you take on a decimator, you just lose.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
every time it's not one of those, we're chilling.
Very, very interesting. Oh, Luke has R3. I was like, there's Luke's lockdown here and up here. I was like, man, why are you shooting at that Wampa? But no, Luke's doing a trick shot.
Yup.
Is this shattering shot too? No, just trick.
Just trick. Okay.
Oh no, never mind. I can read. I'm Orion. This is gonna be a lot of damage.
Interesting. This is a math question for everyone. All right. Well, you know what? Good enough.
That's 3 crits. Or no, 2.
Okay. So Luke spends both force and check and reinforce.
Looks like he's still in the front.
Yep.
The Rebel list Will was considering was very similar to Tommy's, the 4-ship Alpha with Colby Sperado.
Oh, sorry. I was seeing what was happening there. What did you say?
Chat was asking what list Will almost ran as Rebel.
Oh,
It was going to be Luke, Wedge, Colby, Fenrow.
Mm-hmm.
Asking a judge to double-check the reinforce.
Yeah, the question is Luke crossing the midpoint so that, because if you're in the front and the back arc, neither reinforce works.
Yep.
Oiken has a front reinforce.
Let's make sure that that betting already closed. It'd be kind of late to
I
have
forgot
that
to
still
bet.
going.
Sad.
Where's this one? Oh no, I think automatically closed.
Yeah, it's good. I think it was up for like 9 minutes.
Thanks, automated things. There's a slight canter on Oiken, but it's still not looking like it's enough to get Luke a broadside.
It's only in the front. There you go. So we have a reinforce. They're doing this out of order anyways. Should have rolled first. Not like Oiken can spend anything. So gets an evade.
So hit 2 crits. So the
crit.
fuel leak will
Yeah. So
add
I'll go ahead
another.
and pop this fuel leak off here, and do that. And it's 1, 2, 3 more.
1 down, 1 up. Fuel leak. Another fuel leak.
I just went and cleared that. So then another one.
And a
a direct hit.
So much additional damage.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, so we have 4, 6, 8. 8
Yep.
damage done.
Oh, so
Oiken.
1 more. I overdid it by 1.
That's a lot of damage, but was it worth it?
I mean, yeah, like Will just said, still alive.
Still alive. You've essentially locked Han from doing actions next turn.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, this is turn 2. So there's a scenario marker here, and here.
Down here.
Down here, and then there's one
up
somewhere
here.
Up there. So the ones.
Ooh, shooting range 3 into Luke from Mornikey.
Oh, that's what's happening. Okay.
Luke
Luke does not care. Not interested.
Got him.
Sorry, I was looking at the scenario markers to see, what do we get in exchange for all of this Oiken health?
Jingoist going into Luke. Jingoist must have barrel rolled. So we see all these tokens on this Jingoist here who use
Yes.
Overton modulators, and no one decided to look at them.
Very sad.
Lots of strain.
All right, and Oiken gets the
Range 1 into
wedge. Oh, he was measuring to wedge. I'm not sure.
So it
if
has to be Han.
Has to be Han.
Han gets a reroll. Defense focus. So 3 shields.
Will saying you got a Han reroll, or at least I think you do. You used it on offense,
Yep.
so you better. Okay, and so I'm not an expert in this matchup. I will admit to not having played it before. but I do not know that trading 12 health for 1 damage or 3 damage on Han is a good trick. That seems like
let's look at our. Did the points not automatically update to get Oiken to half?
It's not chance engagement, so no.
Oh, true, true. Speaking of points, so 1 here for Will.
Yep. 2 for Will.
2 for Will. Contested, so nobody gets this one, and then 1 for Nick. So let's go ahead and we need 2 for Will.
2 and 1 here.
And 1 for Nick. So do you think, if you're Nick, you obviously want to finish off this Oiken?
Yes, it's hard though. It's hard to line up the next turn.
Yes. Well, if Will wants to keep Han stressed,
yes,
he doesn't want to go past him.
Mm-hmm.
So that Wedge and Luke are already looking at him.
Right.
So if he just stays there and bumps, Luke and Wedge can both do 1 straights and probably still shoot him, but giving up a lot of board position to just continually look down this way.
Let's see. I'm going to draw. Let's see how this goes. So this arc would be covered. I don't know. I don't think that's happening.
It might not.
I mean, it would be a little more
It's
down,
risky to
but
1 bank.
that's a spooky 1 bank.
I mean, you could 3 bank, but that's like even deeper commitment to it. Now, Will could fake him out and go 4 straight with Oiken.
Yeah, or just like, 3
3
turn.
bank.
3 turn might not fit. It's hard to tell where Wedge is because there's a Falcon in the way.
If you got a Wedge in the way here.
The nice thing is though, you can always try it and
bump. Oh no.
Worst case, whatever, man. I'm a decimator. I don't care. I'll use Dauntless and take my action anyways. But yeah, so this is, we saw this a lot in the games on stream Friday where, it sounds obvious and silly to point it out, but it's like, well, what happened in this engagement? So Will has all this, which is 6 plus, so this is 13 points, 14 points, decimators are 7?
Decimators are 7.
Yeah.
These ones are. Rack's 8.
So this is 13 points, right? That did not contribute to this engagement. And this is 20 points that did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, especially when you're playing against an Alpha Strike, when you're effectively down 2/3 of your list against their entire list, you're going to have a very bad day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing these very important early engagements very heavily decide outcomes.
Let's double check. Oiken does not have bombs.
And yeah, like it's like there was nothing that said that Will had to split his decimators like this up so that he could get caught. But it's important to remember Nick set his entire list up after.
That's very important. Yeah.
So it might be that Will didn't realize or has a plan for getting them together to help each other out. But yeah, this looks like a rough spot to come back from. Definitely not over by any stretch of the imagination.
Got some road roll.
They claim they cannot see the telestrator. Is that true? Why? Oh, that is true.
Oh.
I've been
they don't see us
so
drawing. Let me see if there's any icon on here that tells me if it can show up or not.
It'll be in this list somewhere. And I don't want to use the mouse down there because it's been iffy. But yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay, you were...
TTT overlays, stream overlay.
We're learning in real time here. The adults are gone.
Crits, cards.
Telestrators right there.
It's got an eye on.
Interesting.
Is it something with the actual telestrator?
No, it's definitely working.
Huh.
Oh, is it because it's the wrong color? Is this what it usually is?
Usually yellow, but that's fine.
Okay, interesting. I don't know. We'll not worry about it this game.
We'll get it figured out later. Did the telestrator ever work?
Yeah, that worked earlier this week. Well,
like this morning.
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yep. Okay, he's going for it.
Doing the 3 bank.
Oiken opting out. Please, no more.
Yeah, as much as you want to keep your Death Troopers active, that just means you're leaving.
Yeah,
now.
even if you are a decimator, or sorry, even if you block everything, you're still a decimator. You might just die to the range 0 shots.
Yes. And turns out when you bump yourself, you don't get. I mean, so Wildcard does have dogs. He can still.
Yes, he can do whatever he wants.
Nick is not double stressed.
Will just struggling. The 753 attempted template placement.
Four strain, just holding on to all of it. I'm gonna guess. It'd be kind of funny. He bumps focus, still doesn't get shot at, still doesn't get to use his focus, gets 5 strain.
Just keep piling it up. At this point,
he's screaming, Nick, please shoot this shit. Please shoot it. Let my strain go.
oh, very silly.
I think that's one reason why, because I originally, when I looked at the Jingoist, was trying to figure out between Overtune and Contraband, which one has a little more value. When stuff like scenario actions, it is nice to get those calculates and do a scenario action and not be modless.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when as often as Jingoists tend to bump into stuff and get into range 1 to get their ability active, it's nice to the turn after they stress focus to be able to do more things.
So, sorry, I was distracted double checking because, yes, Twitch chat is right. There's nothing on K2SO that says choose an unstressed ship.
Oh,
so
is that why they're asking Han got double stressed or something?
So it's like, it's ironically, it's kind of like, yeah, you know what? You're going to stress me. I can't clear it. Whatever. I'm just going to pile it on.
It's like he wants a mod.
It doesn't matter.
So he opted for a big, is that a 4K
It's
or
a
4 straight?
Probably a straight, if I had to guess. Oh, maybe it's a K.
I think, I guess what you would have gained with a K turn, or a 4
looks
straight
like a
off
K.
this one.
Yeah, looking at the dial.
Look
there we
at
go.
that. You gotta wonder what Han's doing then, because if he stressed himself again with Han, that means he knows he's not. He planned on not turning his arc.
Right.
So if he predicted Oiken can't leave his front and back, Han's probably doing a straight maneuver of some type.
Probably just some. If I had to guess, well, you know what? I'm not going to guess. It's too early to be trying to be guessing things. Yep. Okay. So this would have either cleared Oiken or now they'll have their rear arc shot. But for Oiken's benefit, this is now
range 3.
Range 3. Yep.
I'm gonna guess that Wedge didn't try and play the guessing game and did a K turn. That would have been a really ballsy move.
It was a range 2 shot, so it would have very likely slammed into the 4K. It would have slammed into Oiken.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
okay.
Expecting Oiken to not be there, very unlikely. Because you had to expect that he could have just bumped into you.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh, this might end up with Wedge not having shot. Is that a 2 or 3?
It's a 2
It'll be close.
turn. I wonder if he closed his wings. Oh, is he going to have that? Looks like a no. Well, he can't boost out of it.
Yeah, it's definitely. You know what?
You don't have barrel roll focus.
Yep.
But not being range 1 seems like a...
Does have barrel roll focus apparently.
What would you prefer in this?
Oh, sorry,
Would you rather take a defensive mod or not give him a red dice?
It depends on what upgrades are on Oiken.
Oiken has fifth brother.
So just fifth brother here. That is a good math question. I believe the answer is focus in terms of taking the least damage.
Okay.
But that's not the only thing that you have to worry about, right? Because you also want to make sure that Wedge can actually clear a maneuver next turn too.
Yes. Wedge also does have elusive in terms of your defensive math on that to figure out which one you want to go with.
Yeah, Will rolls a die. He declares he's rolling an evade because it doesn't matter. No matter what, he takes the critical damage. If he rolls an evade, then reinforce does nothing. If he rolls a blank or a focus, then reinforce. Oh,
weapons failure. Well, Wedge feels
it
feels nice for Wedge to now have to only take a 2-die shot.
Yes.
So if you're Luke, do you shoot at the multi-strain Jingoist or you go range 1 into Mr. Wampa? Looks like it's range 1 into Mr. Wampa. Ooh, that's a sad Wampa. That crit could be very disastrous.
Elusive will not
elusive
save
for
him.
nothing. Not saved.
It's not Wampin time. Well, you know what? That's not true.
Oh, he didn't die.
But he has a loose stabilizer.
Well, yeah, he's going to die.
He will.
Because that rock's in front of him. I love the placement of the card.
Yep. And usually this is where you'd be like, oh, I have this cool decimator that can save me from this, rock. But turns out Wampa, lower initiative than everything else.
Yep.
So there will be no coordinates to save him.
This is quickly turning in Nick Sperry's favor. Even you talked about the difference of like the commitment of points on the board positioning and where Oiken was and how much damage he took. The fact that Wampa is effectively dead next turn guaranteed means Nick just doesn't have to worry about him. This, I believe, is a
Luke ignoring more
Jingo
shots.
into four, or Jingo shooting into Luke. Luke not caring. Jingo trying to reach for a wedge to help out.
From downtown.
From downtown. And Han? Maybe.
Oh, Wampa, if he keeps getting nudged, might be able to get past this rock. Yeah, you know what? True, Twitch chat. Will is winning. I agree.
You are right.
That's factual.
We'll see how he will be winning until stuff starts exploding. And Oiken's very much on his way out. Wedge is pursuing as best he can, likely next turn.
Yeah, but the funny thing is this starts getting spooky because, Wedged, this Oiken still has 3 hull, and you're doing like 1 to 2 damage a shot. And when Morna shows up, Wedge might have a bad day.
Maybe, yeah. Lucifer Wedge. Wedge lost both the shields. That matters a lot. When you have an Oiken that's shooting at you with fifth brother. Next turn, because he just shot.
All right.
Wampa shooting at Wedge.
It's Wampa time. Can he do it? Can Wampa contribute?
One crit.
Wampa.
Oh.
Wampa.
No.
Sad. You hate to see it.
I feel like between Oiken...
1, 2, 3.
Wait, you're circling things they don't know.
Oh, you're right. You're correct.
So what Chris was trying to point out is our current objective point. They're checking right now. I actually don't think that top right corner is given to Morna right now. So Will gets 2 and Nick gets none.
Oh, none. You're right.
Because Wampa is contesting next to Luke and Han is not close enough.
Good job, Wampa. He did all we could ask.
So if Will can somehow get Oiken away and just prolong his life. Now Wedge does have R4, which means he can pass the K2SO calc to allow that proton torpedo into Oiken.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? I think it's as early for Twitch chat as it is for me, so we're going to have to go slow.
So Han has K2SO.
Yes.
Wedge has R4.
Okay, yes.
So you could 2-turn, clear the stress.
Yes.
Even if Oiken does a 1 straight, it's not close enough to be range 1, I believe.
Probably not. No, it should not be.
So then you can fire off your torpedo.
Yes. Which
probably reaches. Even if Oiken does a 4 straight.
Right. And probably kills him as well, because Oiken has 3 health left. Yes. And a reinforce would reduce it to 3.
Yep.
I mean, there's always the chance that you don't get 4 hits, and it's not a low chance. It's like a 20% or whatever. That you don't get 4 hits on the torpedo.
Now, Han's blues, there's no turns.
Yes.
And there's also no rocks down in that corner.
Yep, not doing much for a turn or 2 here.
No. So he wants to probably turn his arc because the rest of his pathing up the side of the board will probably be more of a side swiping advantage.
Yep.
So I'm seeing likely a blue move and rotating the arc. Help some pot shots, but Luke's staring down some stuff right now.
So, interesting question from Twitch chat. Do you really want to waste your other torpedo into Oiken? You might just be able to kill him with your primary.
I don't think it's a waste if you can guarantee the kill.
I would agree.
I've seen people who have opted to hold on to their torps on a 1 health TIE fighter and not kill the TIE fighter. And the TIE fighter just ran away and never died the rest of the entire game.
Well, that's kind of the risk. I mean, the nice thing about a decimator is even if Wedge hit it for 2, you can go back and hit it later. But you really don't want to let Oiken just, I can't draw. But these 2 top scenario markers, if Oiken is just left free to roam, they're just going to go score scenario points until you bother to kill them.
Yeah, and I think the asteroid peeking out above Oiken right now, that actually can inhibit some of Wedge's pursuing path.
Yeah, ability to chase particularly well.
Yeah, how many people in the chat have had that happen where they've learned the hard way to where they were like, I'm going to save my resources and not end up killing the thing they meant to kill. And they're like,
and they still have the torpedo at the end.
yeah, and they never end up using the resource ever again because they either got range 1 the entire time or died.
No, very sad.
I've seen it happen actually pretty recently. Not at Gen Con, but recently enough to where I can be like, yeah, I remember that. I didn't do it. I saw someone do it.
Not guilty.
And I encouraged my opponent, like, you should probably use your torp. Nope. Okay. You need it, especially with a ship that has 3 agility. You just got to put, if you have more dice.
Just end it.
Just end it.
If you can auto kill it, just.
I know.
Unless you're so desperate that you need it to stay alive yourself, just free yourself from the pain. There are so few things that feel worse than you know what, 3 hits, you have no defensive mods. I'm just going to, 3 is going to be fine. Okay, never mind. Then your opponent yells, he's 6.5% or whatever back at you.
Just scream the percentage I
Wampa,
lived.
the face-up dial spin. Beautiful. He loved to see it.
Yeah. For people who may just be tuning in, Wampa is on 1 health with a loose stabilizer looking at a rock. Therefore, Wampa is dead.
There's no saving Wampa. Wampa, farewell.
He's so ready to kill his own Wampa, he just like ignored system phase.
Will trying to skip his opponent's system phase. Extremely poor sportsmanship.
In lieu of just murdering his own Wampa. I don't know why we're wasting time on this.
I think everyone's a little, you know.
It's a little loopy in the morning.
Everyone's in the process of waking up, and what's more fun than killing your own Wampa to get there? Wampa.
Womped his last Womp.
True. Womped himself real good. There you go.
First ship off the board.
Goodbye, Wampa. A real tragedy, actually.
Yeah.
I think Wampa quickly fan favorite mascot for the entire game.
Oiken, as expected, wants to leave out of here. So note, Nick Sperry did not opt to do K2SO crew.
Did not.
He might have just been. I'm just really scared of you just staying close and like keeping my stress.
Yep.
The problem is if he stays, you can't keep the stress if he's dead. So
that is.
I think I still would opt for the K2SO anyway.
That is factual. This rock.
Oh no! Is this rock going to claim more TIE fighters?
No, never concerned. Not once.
Oh.
Easy. You question this jingoist?
I mean, Wampa didn't. Wampa had a problem, so why can't more TIE fighters have the problem? It could be Empire Strikes Back all over, just running into asteroids. God, if Luke just one straight at that TIE fighter's going to be so sad.
Yeah, well, I mean, they'll probably survive and then have 2 strain shots into them and maybe a more in a follow-up.
Han gets to rotate his arc too, as long as Nick did it.
Yeah, but they'll be like here, right? And
no one can see it.
They can't draw. It's like the Han shot is not good.
I'm going to look at the stream deck to see if there's anything here that says, hey, this is how this goes up here. But no, there's nothing.
Yeah, I don't see anything either.
No.
Do you guys want to see Stanny's face?
No.
I found the face cam button.
You found the face cam button? Let's do it after.
Okay, fine. But let it be known that I tried, okay?
So chat was asking, give a calc to double stress potentially a ship. So Wedge isn't stressed right now. He just barrel rolled last turn. See, he would be stressed. He has R4 who can 2-turn. And then you can lock for your fully ish-modded torp.
True. I think Morna trying to decide whether to rotate or take some other action here.
Yeah, so at this point now, do you do this to threat? Because Wedge is at 4. I mean, this is realistic getting Wedge close, but like on Mornake's pathing now, you have to account for Morna pointing forward, which isn't going to threaten Luke or Han as much going forward, but it's going to threaten Wedge.
It may threaten Han, but the nice thing is Morna is the ship here with Vader and 000.
I don't understand why they're not just doing the one forward versus trying to do this around method. So for people who don't know,
I think it wasn't going to clear is why.
A one forward is equal to, was it a 3 straight template off the back? If you line it up to the full side of the base, to the back side of the base. Luke opting for...
Our King Jingoist gets the block. narrowly not dying to
Did
Luke.
they say that?
Yeah, that's why it looked like they were just sliding him. So I think Nick is deciding on red focus or not here, which... so here's a question. I was going to say not row treason to because you're Luke, so who cares?
Yeah.
Nick clearly disagrees. Do you have opinions?
Man, those K-turns look pretty good next turn if you could have done them.
Yep.
I think I would have kept the... I would have not done it.
Yeah. Okay, so here's question time. So wedge is 3-hearted here.
Yep.
If you lock, you're going to get Vader crewed.
Yep.
Worth?
Yep.
I agree.
1 damage for a dead ship that's worth 7 points? Sure.
Well, it's no longer that much of a guarantee either. You're looking at...
Yeah, you didn't do the 2-turn with the calculate.
Yep.
He wanted to get that 3-turn distance to make sure he had range for the lock. If he didn't have the lock, he'd be a very sad wedge.
We're hearing loud noises. Looks like no one is hurt. All the games are intact.
Someone was power stancing on a chair and it went too far back on the chair and it folded in on his leg.
Hi. Dude, round 1, 8 a.m. X-Wing is the best X-Wing.
I feel like the power stance at that point isn't a power stance. It's holding you up this morning.
True. I just need the table for support.
Just help me, chair.
Will telling Nick what to do.
So Nick is considering whether or not he should focus because of Vader and just shoot.
Listen, actually, Will just made a good point. I drew a lot of fuel leaks and direct hits. I don't know how many more are left in the deck. We saw 2 fuel leaks and 1 direct.
Yeah.
So there's 3 directs left somewhere in the deck, but they might be some of these face-down cards. And there's only 1 fuel leak left.
Yeah. I think you gotta, right?
Yep.
Because at this point, let's say... So, Han did go for the hard turn, so not turning his arc. So he's just gonna... he might be able to shoot that.
I don't think so.
No, probably
no way.
not. He's a weird angle.
Yep.
I don't know if I like that with Han. You got no additional shots in the TIE fighters. Checking for 000 out of range.
Yep. So 1 auto damage into wedge.
Yep. Used Vader crew auto damage. So Mordecai will have an unmodded shot into wedge. So here, that's a good question. For anyone who might be curious, would you rather take a modless shot into a ship and do a Vader damage?
Yes.
Or would you rather keep the Force for the shot?
Well, the boring answer is... Sorry.
Is that the Torp?
I believe so.
That was Wedge's Torp.
Seems good.
So
okay.
Oiken's dead.
Goodbye, Oiken.
Goodbye, Oiken.
The end. The boring answer is it depends a lot on what you're shooting at. So if you're shooting at a B-Wing, your removal of their token is not particularly impactful. Right.
I think that does depend on maybe if it's a focus for the offense you're expecting back.
Sure. Yeah, but I believe your question was what's going to do more damage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
if we're geared towards we're trying to do damage on the ship we're targeting.
Yeah. So it depends. The break point is roughly at 2 agility, but generally your mod.
So Luke opting to spend the Force instead of the focus he took, and Jingo is spending to live.
Yep.
Oh, he's keeping the focus for the Jingoist abilities.
Yes.
That's why.
And that is the cloaking device Jingoist?
Yes, down to 1.
There we go.
This is where it would have been nice for Han to be able to bank and rotate his arc to at least threaten that additional shot kill. Yep. Granted, Han would have shot first, but...
So more in a range 2. Which another person modded, destroyed.
I'm modding this morning. You people use bad words. It's too early for bad words.
They have bad role models, that's the problem. It's these GSP foul-mouthed. Whoa, we good? Okay, we're good.
So they're doing the Jingoist abilities on Luke, and they're trying to decide what kind of token they're going to use.
Yes. That's probably why the red focus. Though it doesn't really help because presumably this one just shoots first and gives you the option.
The strain Jingoist.
Yes.
As per they can't unfortunately still see the draw.
The trip. Oh, you're right.
Wrecked for like the 4th time.
I'm just in shambles. every time I try to do anything good, it's only sadness. Just call me Oiken.
Yes, I feel like Han almost... Does it feel like a wasted turn to not clear that stress and rotate your arc? Because you basically have to do it again next turn. Anyway, unless you plan... So there is a rock, the mustache rock, a small one next to Luke.
Yeah, you could just 2-turn, probably. I don't think that hits it.
Well, or you plan to go straight or 2-bank next to it and then rotate, so then you have mods with the rock.
Go. So, Nick is making their decision. What's it going to be? A strain or lose a focus?
So Luke already shot. Luke's probably going to... Oh, this is strain, not deplete.
So Will doing the smart thing here and saying, I'm going to activate the range 0 one first.
Yes.
So now his other Jingos can do whatever they want.
So I think it's best for that range 0 Jingoist to shoot Han. And
yes,
then
which is exactly what he's doing. So he says, cool, I cleared your focus, and I'm going to shoot Han because
you'd rather have the range 1 with 3 dice go against the strain ship.
Yeah, I mean, you can strain it again, of course, but like a range 0 shot, even to a strained Luke with a TIE fighter, is extremely unlikely to do damage because they're Luke. They just have unlimited force.
Luke is fine. And I think we see, there have been comments in the past that I've seen where people are like, oh man, it's so ballsy to take the strain and keep the mod.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times the math works out, depending on the agility amount of the ship, to keep the mod rather than be modless anyway.
Yeah, I mean, again, it depends on the context of all the ships involved, but generally, it turns out dice mod's pretty good.
Yes.
Okay, and I need to get scenario points, so the bottom left one here is definitely Rebel-owned.
Is Han close enough?
Yes, they were.
All right, so big ship.
And Morna has the bottom right one, and so I assume this is 2 more for Will.
Yeah, because the middle one is probably with the purple Jingoist.
And they have the score as...
Have the purple Jingoist ever used its cloaking device yet?
That's right.
Including Wampa? Oh yeah, because they only had like 3 points. Yeah, because there was 1, then 3, then 7.
But Will should have 6, right?
Yeah. I'll go ask real quickly.
Yeah, I guess double check the distances.
Yeah.
So I think Will should have 6. We're gonna swap the table view real quick since we're in the middle of a round. Table? Nope. Button no work for me. Let's see. Players. There we go. There we go. We're adjusting to fix the score there. See some other players in the background playing the games.
Well, look at that beautiful shirt on the gentleman right next to Will's face. Wow, that's interesting. Interesting.
Is that a friend of yours, Chris?
Yeah. It's a tradition that everyone that comes to Gen Con from around Atomic Empire always makes cut because, we're good. So it is what it is. That's Brian Harper, who was late, as is also our tradition.
You weren't late.
I slept through Swiss. I think that counts as late. That's pretty late.
When you actually talked about playing. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How is Dion doing?
That's a good question. Both fire sprays are still on the table. That's pretty rough.
I think all the first order stuff's also on the table. Oh no, that's an FO on the side of the table.
Is Kanan dead?
I don't know.
So
you know what? I'll go.
For people who don't know, Dion is playing Cam Murray. Cam Murray's running Boba, Kashka, and Kanan, Hawk, and Dion's running his first order list. We're just kind of trying to peek over at his table to see how he's doing. Both fire sprays are still there. So we'll see how it's going. Chris is about to give us a little bit of an update.
Dion is in shambles. That's how Dion's doing.
Oh no.
He's done a total of 2 damage, it looked like, and almost all the ships are dead.
Oh no.
Not a good look.
Oh no. Well,
Dion was talking about a Hail Mary plan when I left, so I think he knows looks like he knows what situation he's in.
Let's go back to our table here. They're in the system phase. Looks like we have, I believe Nick Sperry is player 1. We should be on what turn?
There have been 3 sets of points scored, so 5.
Beep.
Morna coming around. You know what? Maybe I'll actually contribute now, says Morna. I'm going to come help.
Morna can now shoot at wedge to the back, which is
Yes.
very important to try and help kill that wedge.
Yep.
I'm guessing Morna's going to lock. If I were wedge, I would win 4 straight, close the foils, boost away. I'm leaving. I've done my damage. If I turn it at Morna, I'm not killing Morna.
True.
That's another decimator. That's a whole other one. Someone in the chat asking, everyone who made cut gets a Worlds invite? Yes? No. The Worlds invite goes to the top 4.
Top 4. You missed the really important question, though. GSP themed compression socks? Question mark.
I will pass that on to you. You never know.
I don't believe you. I think he's lying to us, Twitch chat. I don't think he's going to ask at all.
So this Jingo is going for the 3 turn, keeping all that strain. If Han does a turn or a bank, he's bumping.
Yep.
But if Han does a straight like 3, that might be a really sad Jingoist with a rear arc shot that Han will get.
Or a really happy Jingoist, you know?
Yeah.
We were just trying to get all up in Luke. This. Okay. No.
In his grill. Luke should be stressed, right?
Yes.
He did a stress focus.
I'm going to go ask before anything gets revealed.
Yeah, before anything gets ruined, let's make sure he knew that the stress was there.
We're going to see what maneuver Luke does. Maybe they're saving time when they were picking tokens up. I'll
we'll
not
find
bother them until something bad actually happens. Yeah, because those are Luke's tokens up there. The stress,
okay,
the S-foils, and the lock.
good.
2 straight from Luke. Yep, we're good. He knows.
He's aware.
Board state intact.
So this is where I think Luke and Wedge just start getting a little bit of objective points.
Yep. Yeah, it's
staying away from damage. I mean, he's got a lead. You don't want to exactly take your foot off the gas, but you don't want to lose your
right.
lead
Well,
either.
yeah, the nice thing is like, nice thing, whatever, however you want to phrase it. You don't win the game by destroying all your opponent's ships.
Yep.
You win the game by reaching 20 points. You only need 9 more, and you have a large ship on assault. It might be, you might be able to just go. Because if you trade even scenario points from here on out, it's like, well, I'll get 9 and you get 9. The end score will be 20 to 15. I'm good with that.
So this is where Luke probably takes some R3 locks, picks a couple targets, and then Talon rolls next turn.
Seems very reasonable.
So picking Morna Key and the TIE Fighter with mini strain.
Yes.
Han did attempt a 2-bank. He won't land, but he might get a shot on that purple Jingoist. Chris getting a care package from Duncan right now. Duncan sporting his Cobra Kai t-shirt as he shows up ready for his round after his bye. See Han doing his 2-bank. We have to be very careful to see whether or not it goes around correctly, and we'll find out if he'll have the shot on the Jingoist. That's pretty big because that purple Jingoist is on 1 health, and if Han can get a shot on that Jingoist, it'd be a pretty big deal. Chris, does it look like Han has a shot on the purple Jingoist? What do you think?
Purple Jingoist.
The one behind Luke.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I'm guessing that might be a judge call.
Probably, but I would, eyeballing it from here, I would say no. But camera angles make things weird quickly at
Wedge
times.
did the 2 hard. That's
very risky.
That's very risky.
Will says, "Yeah, I'm chasing down Han. I'm not worried about Wedge."
But hey, getting 6 points would put Will in the lead.
That is true.
But Wedge opting to focus and say, I don't want to be Vadered.
Please don't Vader
Please don't Vader me. No 000.
Vader's off the focus. Have we updated damage? I'm pretty sure that's my job, and I don't know that I've been particularly good at it.
Luke has taken none. Han is not taking any more shots besides here.
And we got the Jingoist to 1 health. Okay. Let's hide. You know what? We're not going to hide the dice cam. We're just going to deal with it because I'm going to forget to unhide the dice cam.
Yeah. So they'll see it when they roll. I think that this is the Vader question. I think you just don't take the Vader damage.
Will, fun fact, never trust your opponent for what they tell you the math of your decisions.
If there's anything I learned about Will in playing other games besides X-Wing after all these days this weekend, he will straight up lie to you.
Well, and the fun part is like
He wants to bamboozle you.
even if he's right, I don't know that I trust someone on my own team about the math for making
Very true.
decisions.
Never trust the math
Just
until
do
you
it
look at it
yourself.
yourself.
Just do it yourself.
And if you don't know how to do it, find someone who can help.
Figure it, and if you don't know how to
Don't
do
let
it,
it be your opponent.
write it down and come back later and figure out why you couldn't. All right, wedge takes the damage. 2 hole left on wedge.
That's scary though.
That is very
Because
spooky.
basically that means
That
it means it's killable range. I
that
mean,
is
3 was killable
a
range.
random stray one shot from even a TIE fighter now is death for wedge. See, how dare you question my... Uh-oh.
Oh, too much bend. Too much bend. Yeah, I agree. He does have a shot. Wedge might try.
Oh, he's... Okay, they're not even measuring to the middle TIE fighter.
Range 0. Double checking that double checking Han's reroll still works at range 0. It does
Definitely
not.
Oh.
Well,
Okay, we're back.
just 1 crit. Oh, crit goes through. 1 crit onto the yellow jingos. Let's see what we get. What's in the box?
We'll never know.
That was a direct hit.
Direct
he
hit
took
it
2.
is.
Both TIE
Cool.
fighters
Has all
on
the
1.
hole it still needs. We're good. It's fine. We're chilling.
Wedge, I mean, range 3 obstructed into, so that'll be a 3-on-4 because of Wedge's ability.
Nope. Into a 1-hole TIE fighter.
I wouldn't even bother. Wedge has to live. You kept the focus for defense, right?
Nope.
No problem.
I think, you know what? Jingoist does A-okay. Just fine. No problems here.
So we'll see if Will actually spoke his truth about, oh, I'm only going for Han with Mordecai right now. And just shoots Wedge anyway.
He would be an insane person to not shoot wedge.
I know. Like,
But it is Will, who is moderately insane, so it all tracks.
Will is a very he definitely does a lot of deceptive speaking without breaking the rules, I guess. I don't know. I thought you were supposed to be very truthful with your opponent about not your intentions. Obviously, you don't have to speak your intentions.
I don't think that there are. This is into wedge. Okay, turns out
Wedge
it was
takes
all the
a crit,
same.
unless it's a direct. Panic.
Picnic.
Well, at least Death Troopers aren't there anymore.
Yeah, true. But now, you're probably going to get killed by Morna next turn, so it is what it is.
Travis says we need to get Will a PBR. It'll power him.
It'll power him. There are levels of memes happening that I no longer understand.
Did they skip some of the jingoist shooting? I guess this one didn't have...
Yeah, it didn't have the shot, and then I think the other also didn't have... Okay. All right, so that was Will saying he got... Sorry, the table audio is cutting in and out.
So Will definitely got the... Maybe double check what points they got, because I think...
Here, well, you know what? Let's see what the little scoreboard will tell us. 12 to 8.
So
And
Will
we
needs to go up 2, and Nick needs to go up 1. Very, very constant. I think it's been that way almost every turn this game.
It has. Yeah, because Han is broadly not been close to these, and the decimators have been.
And we are now on turn 6, correct?
Yes. Yeah, so, I mean, like you said earlier, Wedge is 6 points. If Will kills Wedge, he's winning by a decent margin. Granted, probably likely to lose 2 TIE fighters this turn.
Yeah, I think Nick needs to get out of this this bump problem these TIE fighters have been putting him in.
Problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wedge is definitely in jail. Or sorry, Han definitely in jail for a while, in maneuver jail.
Yeah.
But it is a strained TIE fighter, so I'm not sure who's really in jail. Han is not allowed to clear maneuvers. The TIE fighter is...
Maybe that TIE fighter might actually be able to 2-bank and block most of Han's moves. And clear one of the strain. You got a judge.
Cam ruthlessly bullying Dion. Just brutal. Just brutal.
Yeah. Dion calling the judge on harassment for how terrible Cam has been to him. Specifically to dealing in how much damage he's doing to all of his all his poor FO ships.
You hate to see it. I keep like getting my hand halfway up to draw on the screen to talk about maneuvers, and then going, I'm an idiot every single time. Save us, Dion or Will.
I mean, we can technically now draw whatever we want. They won't see it.
You are correct.
Chris drew a high Ryan with a smiley face. Very wholesome. Was that directed at Farmer?
No.
There's more than one Ryan.
There's only one Ryan here,
Oh,
okay?
that's true.
I don't have to be more specific.
You could have said hi D. He's right next to you.
Nah, whatever.
D looks tired.
D does look tired.
D opted to sleep in a different spot than the
To save a 45-minute drive.
45-minute
Yes.
drive. Yes.
Very understandable.
Road roll. Believe the road roll doesn't matter anymore. Did it ever matter?
I don't think it ever mattered.
So both TIE fighters at 1. Luke wants to clean one of them up. Han wants to clean the other up.
Yeah, Morna wants to clean Wedge up. Lots of cleaning.
Yep. Jingoist doing the 2-bank.
Yeah,
Says he
there's
gets
a
clear string.
shocker.
So, Han doesn't really have anywhere to go that doesn't bump into that, I think.
Absolutely not. Might be able. Maybe he could clear a 4 straight, but probably.
Which way do you think Luke is talon rolling?
His to
lock,
the right.
his lock is. You don't think to the left? The lock's over at the left right now.
I think. Oh. Why are we beeping? Okay, sorry.
The very loud. I think a cart was going by.
Gotcha.
Wedge is double stressed. If you're Wedge, you just 3-bank and get as much distance to the right away from Morna.
Yeah. So there. We see 2 panic pilot brains, okay? Panic pilot brain number 1 is, I'm going to try to clear these stress. I'm going to get in action again, okay? I'm going to be free from panic pilot jail.
Yeah.
And the other panic pilot brain is, I'm never going to be free. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just leave the stress on me. But the scary thing is, so if that 3-bank happens, so this Jingoist could have done just a 1 turn.
And looked at that
and
wedge.
looked at Wedge and
Yes.
just killed you.
Yeah.
Provided it actually survived.
So Will at this point is kind of calling Wedge aggression, basically. Would you say that's true? Or
he has cloak.
he does. He hasn't
Oh
used it
my.
till now. I do want to clarify with the chat because someone did ask if I was serious about Dion calling for harassment. No. He was joking.
Don't listen to the GSP propaganda.
This was sarcasm because Dion
Lost
has
very
lost
badly.
a lot of ships.
It was a very one-sided game.
And Cam has not. Luke actually doing the 4K, probably taking him out of torp range.
Yep. So, Wedge goes for the 2-bank. Will that still be in range for this obstructed shot from Morna?
You know what it won't be in range of? Vader crew.
True.
Very important.
The most important.
Actually very curious of Luke to do that, I think. I think he had a very good talon roll to get that last damage and killing that yellow Jingoist.
Poor Han. One day.
That's why I wanted that Jingoist dead.
Nope.
It's so Han could live. You know what? If Luke somehow barely has that shot at range 3, it's obstructed.
Nope.
It's very scary.
Into the TIE fighter?
Yes, the strain TIE fighter.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you were looking at the other. I mean, they're both obstructed.
One's obstructed cloaked.
One's obstructed and cloaked. That's probably not the one you want.
This Jingoist might actually get to shoot at purple, or this Han might get to shoot purple Jingoist this time. Maybe.
So I'm looking. I mean, maybe.
Han's been in jail.
I think we might only have some scenario scoring for a little bit here.
That's what Will wants.
Luke will have one. Wedge will have one.
Well, I think Morna
Morna-
will be able to shoot Wedge. Han might be going for the Bistan double stress, or double focus for a stress at the range 0 and shoot backward at both Morna and the Jingoist, who is cloaked.
Maybe. I'm not sure if they have the Jingoist that is cloaked.
So here's a good question on the math side of things. If you're that Jingoist, would you rather have a mod for your defense or a cloak?
The boring answer, Ryan, it depends on what's shooting you.
With expecting Han to shoot you.
If you're expecting Han to shoot you, the answer is probably you just want an evade.
You want a what?
You just want an evade.
An evade, okay.
Yes. Yeah, we should...
Bring Bistan up, yeah.
Okay, they got it. We're good.
Yep.
I feel
like Will's ran Bistan enough on his Falcons to know that it could be the same arc.
Well, no, the question was, can it be a different arc?
Oh.
Like veteran turret gunner, which specifies a turret arc you have an attack from.
That Jingoist is on 1. He needs 3 out of 5. That is not 3 out of 5.
That ain't it. See ya.
Bye-bye. So now Will's not getting that objective. Han is contesting.
That is true. Is factual. And now if Wedge dies, the game is tied, well, it won't even be tied because Nick will be winning on scenario points.
Yes. Yeah, Luke way too far away. We're gonna get to a game state where that Jingoist has gotten rid of all of its strain and still living. It started with 4. So
the table audio is
that's
very
a pretty good shot in a wedge.
That is a very scary shot into wedge.
For range 3 obstructed. That's
Goodbye,
a dead wedge. That's a tie game,
6.
at least currently, until we get the objective points.
Yep. The problem being that we have 2 ships and 2 ships left. Morna and Han are... Han's probably a little better, but, you know, not a big deal. A 1-hull Jingoist, not as good as Luke.
Much more killable. And already locked by Luke. But, man,
yes.
So if you're Luke, you're in a very weird... Oh, you know what? Luke can still boost and still fire a fully diced torque.
Yes, a fully
focus
diced
boost.
Yes.
So
and you don't even why even focus? You're Luke. You have force. Whatever.
Oh yeah. Just saying, Luke needs to clear his stress, so therefore he needs to do a blue maneuver around that rock, which is probably just a straight,
right,
and then boost.
Well, I mean, finding new and exciting ways to lose would be taking a bunch of damage from rocks on Luke and then having Morna randomly snipe it damage in, which would be hilarious, but probably not a good plan.
Morna has the arc forward and back, though, so would have to rotate to the side. They have confirmed Cam Murray has defeated Dion.
Farewell, Dion. Which means, I don't know what the plan is.
We'll find out.
Are you going to see Dion soon?
Will and Dion might want to break.
That's fair.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, you know what? You guys got it. We're going to go get some coffee.
Yeah, let him get breakfast. I mean, Will still has a chance to win. He's only down 1 point.
It's true.
That wedge kill was very important. If he didn't kill that wedge, it was probably over because wedge just leaves.
Here's the question. Are we allowed to gamble on stream? Is that legal? Was Dion going to be mad at me?
They're already betting points.
Yeah, okay. All right. So let's say Twitch chat dollars. Of course, not real money. That would be unethical.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably need to clarify that.
What odds do I have to give you before you start betting on Will here? Is it...
Start betting on Will?
On Will. Is it 2-to-1 odds? Is it 3-to-1 odds?
I'm not good with odds, to be quite honest. Like, I don't bet often in my lifetime. And,
yeah,
not a Vegas guy.
Twitch chat asking, sorry, I can't read very well because it's far away, but someone says, what is Will's win condition? That is why I'm asking for odds, because I do not see one.
They're so low that there's not an odds that it have to be astronomical for me to do it.
I would take basically any odds you gave me on Nick at this point. Maybe Will knows something that I don't.
You would have to, my guess, no, we are at 10. We are at 10 minutes. We have to be really quiet with that one because they don't know. I think looking at Morna's position and the most inability to do, pretty much the inability for Luke to get shot at meaningfully by Morna. It's all about Morna trying to kill Han at this point.
Yes.
Which would require, I would think, a hull breach.
Yeah, I mean,
It'd have to start with a whole.
it would make the little bit of crit chaining that we saw on Wyken at the beginning of the game look very tame.
Yes.
We would need like a hull breach, direct, or something very silly.
Yeah. So Han opting slow. And probably just going to take a focus and try and kill the Jingoist, who has lost all his strain and is alive.
good luck, Luke. And but the nice thing is, we get Vader. You know,
We do get Vader.
I don't think that. Yeah, Will's on the case.
So bring up Baze Malbus, because basically Nick Sperry wanted to do Baze Malbus. He checked for range 1. He still will
Yes.
end up stressed because he tried to do it.
Yes, because he tried it basically. Oh my God, Morna back on the table. The model in play.
Travis opted for the 420 69 to 1. Would you take those odds? That's very strong.
I would probably take those odds. Those are very good odds.
So this is Han and the Jingoist. That's pretty good. Jingoist has to roll 2 evades. Doesn't get it.
Does not.
It's dead.
Very sad. Okay.
This is so now each player looking at the board state is going to get 1 point for the objective.
Yes.
The clock is now ticking. Will has,
Yeah, so
I would say, 1 more turn.
yes, Han has to die next turn or
Yep.
the game is over.
Yep.
Assuming that Luke stays on a scenario marker and Han moves to 1, which seems like a very safe assumption.
So for Nick to close this out next turn, we'll see if there's a crit going into Han, because that would matter a lot. 5 dice.
Yes, this is the torpedo from Luke through the...
Oh, he did keep the... That's right, he
Yes.
did have another lock. Oh, wow. Could be some oddly catastrophic stuff coming
Good luck,
into
Morna.
Morna.
You got it.
The 1 evade
All right.
for the obstruction.
And that's just 4 shields? No, 4 shields and a crit.
What's the crit? If it's weapons failure, it's game over.
He already pulled 1.
Blinded pilot.
Oh, that's
same
a
thing.
That's a big rip.
Sorry, I say same thing. Ironically, it's not the same thing. Mathematically, feels like the similar. Losing,
very similar.
Losing mods
I
versus
mean-
losing dice.
And Will saying, "Oh, I forgot to Vader. This accidentally works out." 2
Han
damage
takes
off
2
Han.
shield.
Yes.
So Han just 2 banks and boosts towards the next objective, and Luke stays a 1
Yeah,
bank
can just
close to
1
this
straight.
objective.
So Morna could do something crazy like a 3 right bank to contest the scenario marker with Luke, but
Just to keep the game going.
just to keep the game
yeah,
going.
you kind of have to.
You do
can't-
kind of have to.
You can't just count on doing 8 damage to Han with like a triple crit.
Right. I mean, the other plan is like, well, I'm going to do 8 damage to Han in 1 shot, which is possible.
What's the crit chain you would need?
It's just a hull breach followed by a lot of direct hits and fuel leaks.
Yeah, because every card would be face up for each
Yep.
direct hit.
And the score should be 18 to 15. Sorry, I missed adding the scenario points and the turn tracker. There you go.
We can even double check at the table, just to check their scoreboard real quick. 18.
They've stopped tracking turns because they hate
15.
the board state.
Morna sticking with that single objective, but with only 2 left to go, Nick 2 bank boost with Han and 1 bank with Luke will seal the deal.
Yes. Though, it's 8:41 now. Everyone woke up at around 6 a.m. I would not be surprised or hold it against Nick. Did not realize that,
Oh, I think William realized he never used BT1 this whole game, and there was a lot of stressed Han.
there was a lot of stressed Han. I mean, this was the first time he did a card or whatever. Or actually, I don't even know that he hasn't done a card. But there were a lot of shots into a wedge.
This list is still technically new to Will. So
Yep.
even though he
right.
got to cut and
Nope.
he played 5 rounds of it,
Nick
not
says,
boosting.
"No, I want another turn. I want. Give me Morna."
Oh no. You could have boosted and just got the objective and won, Nick. You're giving a little bit away. So people, this is a learning moment. You have 2 points to gain. There is an objective close enough for a boost. And you can get 2. Nick could have won this game faster.
It's not about winning. It's about winning in as quickly and efficiently as possible. Assert dominance.
It's another. Did he not use a? He's
Shattering shot. Yep. All right, another.
Wait, this is too many torps.
No, this is a shattering shot, trick shot through the rock.
Oh, just the right. Yes, you can do that in regular shots.
All right, and that's another. Let's see. So there were 3. We're adding 4 more. There we go. Okay, and then 1 more point each. Okay.
Nick is like.
There we
Nick
go.
just wants to kill everything, apparently.
True. They let me win on scenario points. I choose not to.
I choose violence.
Are you prepared for the Luke 3-turn over the rock to kill Morna?
Don't think 2-turn fits.
I mean, it might, but that is not the Luke Skywalker we've seen this game. This Luke wants to be. He wants violence. It's time.
Need 5 more damage.
Killing ships is how you win the game. True.
Just watch Nick not even go towards the objective. Just 1 banks away. Keeps Han's back arc pointed at Morna. And Luke just turns. Doesn't even care about the objective. We're here to kill the Morna.
It's all factual. It's all true. So I'm going to check the challenge bracket real quick while we're setting these dials. As Nick says, I don't believe it's possible for you to win. And
so we have some updates. We have Andrew Goldbach has defeated Tommy Adams. Moves on. We'll have the Andrew matchup with Andrew Schmidt versus Andrew Goldbach. And as we mentioned, Cam Murray defeated Dion Morales. Cam Murray will go on to face Jonathan Grasser.
True. Okay. Back here we are. All right.
So
I'm ready to see the miracle in Indianapolis.
This may seem a little bit slow for this turn, but Will wanted to let Nick know Will needed to figure out his win condition.
Yeah.
He was doing some math, figuring out the points and what he could do. He's going to bump into Han.
Yeah, we have Dauntless. Doesn't matter.
That one does not.
You are correct. It does matter.
Dauntless.
Very sad. Still blind.
Stress focus. No, he flipped the blind.
Oh, okay.
Did that last turn.
Gotcha. Luke.
Oh, Luke left.
Now we're gonna win on scenario points. Now we're a coward. Oh, curious. Very curious.
Is Han also going to be a coward? Yes.
I don't think Han can be a coward here. I don't think there's any boost out of that.
No, he still will shoot too.
Yeah.
Oh. He says Nick says I could boost, but I'm going to stay.
Will says, well, why even shoot me?
Oh, more crits into Morna. Oh, my lord. He's almost out of cards in his deck. Will has 2 cards remaining.
All right, 2 more crits. It's a console fire.
Didn't get the council fire.
No,
I have no idea what the other crits are, but it doesn't matter. Morna's not dead. Damaged engine.
Yep. Big old pile
if he
of
rolls
nothing.
2 dice, there may have been a weapons failure in there, but I doubt it. It sounds like 3. One crit.
One crit. That's not the crit chain you need.
That's it. That's the game.
There it goes. So, oh, wait. Very important. There.
Oh, the hug.
Very cute.
Yes. The sportsmanship, the hug. The game is over. Nick let Will go finally. Could have let him go 1 turn earlier. The mad lad. He just wouldn't let him go.
Thank you to ISO, Danko, Baffle, Trojan, Prophet, Shadow, Tycho, Spice, Raider, Lancer, Fallen, Row 6, 626, Chief, and J List, our Grand Admiral patrons. And all of our Gold Squadron patrons and community members, thank you for your support. Gold Squadron out.